consume. This amendment would increase by $4 million the bill's funding for grants to address the backlog of sexual assault kits at law enforcement agencies. DNA analysis has been revolutionary in helping to catch criminals and prevent crimes from occurring because of DNA evidence. This evidence does us no good if it remains untested and sitting on a shelf in a lab somewhere. Despite progress over the last few years and much progress most recently, there are still thousands of rape kits that remain untested, potentially hundreds of thousands. That's potentially hundreds of thousands of victims whose assailants are never brought to justice, left to prey on yet more women. Last year, my hometown paper, the Commercial Appeal, highlighted the tragic need to end this backlog once and for all. It described a serial rapist who was finally caught by police in 2012. He could have been stopped nearly a decade earlier if only his first victim's rape kit had been tested. But that kit wasn't, and instead he was able to attack 5 more women over the next 8 years. Missed opportunities like this happen all across our country every day. The trauma inflicted on victims of rape can be compounded when they know that their assailants roam free. Critical evidence goes untested. Fortunately, efforts are now underway to reduce the backlog, and they're making a difference. In Memphis, our backlog reached more than 12,000, but police have now opened 488 investigations and issued 90 requests for indictment. But testing rape kits costs money, more than local law enforcement can afford. I appreciate the chairman's and the ranking member's commitment to eliminating the backlog and the funding that the committee has provided in the bill, but we need more. This amendment would increase by not quite 10%, an additional $4 million, and would take it from the Drug Enforcement Administration, a $2 billion agency that receives a $40 million increase in this bill. DEA would barely notice the difference. And moreover, DEA has been alarmingly irresponsible with money Congress has given it previously. An Inspector General report recently found that DEA agents had sex parties with prostitutes funded by drug cartels in government-leased living quarters. And this followed an Inspector General report that found the DEA paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for information from Amtrak that it could have obtained for free. I think the choice is clear. We should stand with the victims of sexual assault. I urge my colleagues to pass this amendment. It's so important that women have that these kits are tested, that the assailants are brought to justice, and that additional women are not attacked by what are known to be serial criminals, rapists, who are out on the streets. I'd like to say a thank you to my partner in this amendment, Representative Carolyn Maloney, who's been a tireless advocate on this issue as well. And I'd reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman reserves. Does anybody seek time in opposition? For what purpose does the gentleman from Texas?
Mr. Chairman, I wish to seek the time in opposition, but I agree with the amendment and
well, the gentleman's only recognized to oppose.
I would seek unanimous consent to claim the time in opposition, although I am not opposed to the gentleman's amendment.
Without objection.
I believe that the gentleman is exactly right. We have increased funding for to reduce the rape kit backlog. This is a vitally important tool that local police departments are using to get these people off the streets as quickly as possible. And I accept the gentleman's amendment. There is no punishment severe enough nor swift enough for these people, and I think it's very, very important that we get these rape kits handled as quickly as possible. So I urge members to support the gentleman's amendment. And I would yield to my friend.
We have worked for multiple years on this matter, and we've made some significant progress, but more needs to be done. I want to thank the gentleman for his amendment. The committee has made this a very high priority. I thank the chairman for his leadership in this regard. So we are all in occurrence here. All right?
Thank you. The gentleman from Texas reserves. The gentleman from Tennessee.
I just want to thank the chairman particularly and the ranking member as well for their help and their hard work on getting the monies in the past and for helping on this amendment. You know, these rapists don't know state lines, and they cross state lines, and so it's most appropriate that the federal government help the locals in finding people that perform these dastardly acts all over our country. And with that, I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back. Gentleman from Texas, do you yield back? Gentleman from Texas yields back?
Yes, yield back.
The question is on the amendment offered by the gentleman from Tennessee. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The amendment is agreed to.